Clink Podcast. We'll be sharing a mic today because we have a special guest.
Hello.
Yes, I guess we need to upgrade to 3 mics. We're going to have guests. But I fear Kira won't talk a lot today, which makes me sad. But her reactions are really probably the best part of every episode.
Well, she's hogging the mic already, so there's no way I'm going to even be able to speak.
Well, anywho. So welcome today in Clink Podcast, episode 4. We're going to be chatting with one of my closest friends. We'll kind of cover like how we met and some of our favorite stories, but then we got some therapy. Kayla needs to let loose, and we should do it publicly. So we're going to do that. Grab your favorite drink. We're going to have some real talk today. How we first met, and I'm kind of curious to see this, but what was your first impression of me?
My first impression?
Yeah. I feel like everyone says I look mean.
No, yeah, you were definitely, like, intimidating, I would say, but you were sweet. Like, you were always so sweet, so, like, I was never, like, just afraid of you, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
I guess that's true. We met playing AAU basketball.
Yeah.
In, like, what grade?
Like 7th grade?
Yeah, wow, that's crazy.
Maybe 8th.
Maybe 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 8th grade. Was there a specific moment or event that made you realize, yeah, like, we're locked in?
I don't know, maybe, like, after the second tournament when we had a sleepover, and it was just, like, easy.
Yeah, like,
to,
we
like,
just were,
talk.
like, yeah, we clicked pretty quickly. I mean, I feel like AAU, like, you find your, like, people on the team.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain people that you really don't vibe with. Do you have any AAU besties?
No,
You didn't meet anyone.
I don't think so, no.
Wow.
Honestly, you're the only person I've, like...
I guess. That I've stuck with.
Yeah.
But you always have people on the team that you know, like, you're gonna hang out with at the tournament.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, if you're going to get food, like, oh my god, do you remember that
Oh, no.
that Toto video?
Yes.
At Panera?
yes,
Ew.
It makes
Do you
me
know
cringe
that
when I, like, think
TikTok
about it.
trend? Where it's like, ooh, I think Moto like you. Ew. Stop.
And you had the bun on
What?
top of your head.
Well, that's a disgusting TikTok, so you even agreed that it was bad, so I'm not sure why you're yelling at me for making a face, because you just said it was bad.
You're staring into my soul like
Wow.
with an angry
Ew.
face. Was there anything about each other that we were surprised about when, like, we met each other?
I mean, you were just, like, super outgoing. I wouldn't say I was surprised, but I was just, like I liked it. I guess.
Damn, she talks a lot.
No, literally, but
Probably just roasted everyone's ears. Yeah, like I do.
I guess I was surprised about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there was really anything that surprised me about you.
Nothing.
I'm trying to think back to... I don't know. No, you were pretty open too, though. Like, that was...
Really?
I think we clicked pretty quickly because you were kind of just, like... We were just, you know, thugging it out. Did we ever, like, fight in basketball? Probably.
Literally on the court, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I
And a
feel like
couple
I
of times I
remember
probably had to be like, Kayla, cut the shit! Because you'd be
Yeah.
mad at other girls.
That's,
on the other
like,
team,
literally.
and then you'd
or
be like, no,
the
like-
girls on our team. Not that they're, like, anything against them, but I just
Yeah.
get so frustrated when I
Yeah.
play basketball.
I
No,
agree.
I feel like I remember sometimes where
We've had our
yeah,
moments.
definitely.
Because I'm not a conflict kind of girl. Like, I'm not, and Kayla was like, no, she's stupid. And I'm like, you're right. But we don't need to tell her that.
True.
And Kayla was like, we do. We need to tell her. All right, so let's just kind of, I don't even know where you want to start. Do you have a story? Do you want to give us, like, a 2-second, like, rundown? Or is that just not even possible?
I don't even think that's possible. I mean, I
It
don't
was
really know.
okay. I know a lot of. I feel there's things I'm gonna learn today too that maybe I don't know. But
Maybe.
we spent freshman year on FaceTime.
Of college,
On
yeah.
FaceTime, yeah, of college.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You were at, where were you? Elms.
Elms.
And I was at Suffolk, and literally, like, we would sleep on the phone if we needed each other.
Yeah.
Like, it was literally a lot. Like, probably more than I called, you know, my boyfriend.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Actually.
That was the reason why.
Yes.
So is there anything you want to jump into before we ask you questions? Like, any stories? first that we like need to know before we get into it, or are we just gonna dive right in?
I think we should just dive right in. It's kind of hard because I like forget some stuff because it's been so long now, and like, so I think you need to ask questions to like jog my memory. And
all right,
then,
we're gonna relive this toxic
this is so
moment.
much
I
fun.
need a sip of liquid IV because I'm probably gonna need CPR.
I feel like we need to know like how long you guys were together and kind of a little bit of a backstory because I know absolutely nothing about this, so
That is true.
I just need to know a little.
Okay. Honestly, we were together for like a year and a half-ish, but it was like on and off. And honestly, looking back, sometimes I question if we were ever actually together.
Actually on.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like this particular person, I knew them for like a good amount of time, probably like 5-ish years before we ever started dating, in quotations. But like I had hung out with them before and talked to them before, like 3-4 years prior to that. So yeah, that's the backstory, I guess.
I feel like, did it start off as like a situationship?
In the very beginning?
Like when you first started to like talk and like, not when you first like, because I feel I remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that like you kind of crushed on him in the beginning when you first met him.
Yeah, like when I was like 15.
Young. Yeah. You had a crush. I mean, everything starts with a crush.
Right.
But when you
Yeah, right.
But like, what was like the beginning? Like, did you just start talking and then you dated 2 months later, or was it a situationship on and off for a while? I feel that's something I don't really know.
Like the very, very, very beginning?
Yeah.
Okay. Very beginning. Basically met him at his little brother's birthday party because my sisters and his little brother are in the same grade.
Okay.
Okay. Thought he was cute. But then I left. And then I went home and I called one of my friends and I was like, oh my god, like this kid was so cute. Like I need you to find him. So she finds his Instagram. I like follow him on Instagram. And then he like adds me on Snapchat, whatever. This was like so long ago. And he was just like, you're too young. Because I was like 13 and he was 15 at the time. I was like, okay, whatever. But he still Snapchatted me.
Wow, this is a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting. Then probably like sophomore year, we like hung out like once or twice, but like that was all it was.
Yeah.
And he always was just a player. Like I always like knew.
Steer clear,
Yeah.
And she didn't.
No, I didn't.
Nobody ever
Yeah.
steers
No,
clear.
right.
The bad boys are the bad boys.
Exactly.
And you know,
Yes.
it's hard to steer clear. But I guess then did it turn into talking?
So then I had a boyfriend in high school, and then we broke up. And of course, I was 18 when we broke up, so I got Tinder. And he was on Tinder, which should have been another red flag because at the time I thought until I saw him on Tinder that he had a girlfriend, and I think that they were dating. Oh, by the way, he was on Tinder under a different name.
Oh.
So
Oh
there's
my
that. So that should have been another red flag.
You
Then you're like, oh, whatever. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Get
It's
past.
just
Right. And then he was like, we need to hang. And then, of course, that's how we started talking, which was like my senior year of high school.
gotcha.
Yep.
And then the rest was history. In freshman year, me and Kayla probably dated a little bit.
Yeah, basically.
So I guess we can dive into the first question. What was like the turning point for you where you were like, okay, this is good, okay, this is really toxic now? Go ahead.
I think I always knew he was like bad, but I just wanted to find out for myself, kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to change him. I don't know. I guess the first time I was like, wait, like what the fuck, was when I went out with my friend one night and he was like blowing up my phone, texting me like, I can't believe you would do this to me, like all this stuff, and I was like, what the heck? And he had gone out to hang out with his friends that night. He went to like a Celtics watch party or something, like when they were doing it at Fenway, and he's like, I literally left because like you're making me so miserable. And I was just like, literally, what? Like, what is this? Like, I don't even know.
We actually talked about that a lot in our last episode, like significant others going out. And I remember like being one of your friends. I mean, I thought I was one that like you did kind of hang out with and talk to a lot. But I remember you always used to be like, my friends hate me because I can't go out.
Yeah, basically. They did hate me. But I feel like that started more like in the summer because that was like our summer going into college and everyone was hanging out before we left. And I literally could never go out. And then over that summer, it got progressively worse to the point where he was always, my boyfriend. And, like, always, like, just, like, fighting with me on the phone when I was out. So,
Yeah, that's tough.
Right.
That's really, really tough. That's okay. You could have even answered it. We love him here. Looking back, I guess you already answered this. Were there any red flags that you ignored? But you told us some.
Yeah.
Were there any other ones, like big ones? Like, I'm talking like first time you walk into his house, like you're like, ooh, red flag. Or first date, ooh, red flag.
Yeah, well, maybe the fact that, like, one of the first times we ever hung out, he was trying to already plan a trip with me. And I was like, why? But at the time, 18-year-old me was like, oh my god, like, yeah, like, I just wanted him to like me. But looking back, I'm like, literally, what the fuck? And then I realized it's a pattern with all of his other relationships where he takes them on trips. Like, the minute. Yeah,
oh my god, wow, yeah, that's
Did
true.
you actually go on a trip?
Eventually we did.
Oh, God.
Eventually we did. But
You went
not, like,
to-
in the beginning.
Miami, right?
Yeah.
This is sounding like something that happened with me. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever find any, like, earrings or articles of clothing that were another female's?
Well, one time...
Can you share what you found after?
actually,
Earrings!
No, and what was the other one?
Oh my god, sorry to interrupt
No,
this, but
please.
so I shouldn't have been doing this, but I think I had dropped something on the floor and it was right next to this person's bed.
Yeah.
So there's a box in there and we had used some intimate things before. So I was like, oh my gosh, I want to see what else is in this
Right.
box. So, I pull the box out and then I pull out this fucking pair of underwear that says daddy, like those rhinestone underwear that say daddy across. And I was like, these aren't mine. And my dumbass asked about it. And he's like, no, those are for you. I just haven't given
my
them
God.
to you yet. But no, they were
Who's
not
gonna
mine.
put some girl's dirty underwear
I
on
know.
you?
That's
Ew.
disgusting.
No,
God.
baby. We're gonna use those tonight. I used them yesterday, though. Ew.
That is so
That
disgusting.
is so bad. So yeah, did you find anything?
Well, okay. There's so much to get into, but one time we had broken up, and I knew that he was getting back together with his ex, which is a whole other thing that we need to get into too. And I found when I went back to, like, his room, I found her hair clip, and he, like, made a joke. He's like, you can keep it if you want. And I was like, what the fuck?
Sit on fucking burn it over your head.
Oh.
This is honestly embarrassing talking about it because I should have just ran, like...
No,
It's
it's
funny to think about.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
looking back on it, and we'll get into this later. Kayla is much happier now,
Yes.
but like now you can look back and be like, what the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
We don't judge here, so if you're a viewer and you're judging, or you're a Spotify listener and you're judging, we'd probably rather you're not here than
Yeah,
to
please.
judge us. Because we all have our stories. I have yet to take the hot seat. I don't want to. So,
I'm excited.
no.
I'm tuning in for that one.
Yeah. So looking back, we talked about the red flags. How did the relationship impact, like, you as a person, like your confidence and your self-worth?
For my confidence, I don't really know if it impacted, like, my confidence in ways that I noticed, but, like, in my life, I know that, like, I kind of spent less time with my family, or I was always anxious when I was, like, away from this person. And every time, like, I would post something, I'd be afraid, like, oh, he's either gonna get mad or he's gonna be, like, nice today and he's gonna like it. So, like, I guess, like, I just didn't want to, like, post myself because I was just always anxious and, like, worrying what he was gonna think or what he was gonna do or how he was gonna react to something. That makes sense?
Yeah. So, like, you kind of just lacked, like, freedom, almost.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, like, confidence. Like, you knew you were that bitch when you took, like... I remember I took bikini pictures of you at the beach one day, and you were like, I can't post those. And then when you guys broke up, you did. And they're still maybe one of my favorite pictures on your
I
Instagram.
like it too. And
Yeah.
actually, because we were, like, broken up at that time when we took them, and I was like, oh my god, he's gonna think I'm, like, such a slut if I post these. And then when we got back together, he was like, and then you go and you post, like, a hot picture of you at the beach.
That is
Like,
so girl-coded, though.
Fuck.
That is so girl-coded. If you don't go through a breakup and glow up and post, like, the hottest picture, you didn't care. What made it so difficult for you to leave? Like, because there was a lot that happened, and a lot of times that, like, I mean, in any relationship, I feel if it's toxic, there's a lot of moments you could pack it up. But, like, what made it that you wanted to stay?
I think it's just, like, the cycle that you're in of wanting to make it work, and especially when someone's, like, pulls away so much, you just, like, kind of want it more, I guess.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, like, I can make this work. I don't really, like, know what, like, kept me there. I mean, there was a lot of times where we, like, broke up, and I was like, oh, like, I'm not going back this time, and then, you know, he'd be like, I'm so sorry for, like, all this stuff, and I'm just like,
he was a
okay.
king at the, like, flowers the next day kind of thing, right?
Love bombing.
Yeah. Like, just so much love bombing, and I didn't know, I'd never been in, like, a relationship like that. In high school, I was in a relationship, like, the entire time, so I didn't realize that, like, people were actually, like, cruel like that, like, I don't know.
I feel like your relationships, and this could be, I could be wrong again, so correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like your first high school relationship was just kind of, not bland, but, like, your first relationship. Like, it
Right.
wasn't anything special or too special.
Right.
And
Like,
then your
it's-
second one was, like, awful,
Yeah.
and now your third one's, like, true love.
Right.
Third time's a charm.
Like,
Yeah.
literally. But,
Literally.
no, my first one, I mean, he taught me, like, a lot. Like, he was a good first boyfriend, like,
Agreed.
first love, like, high school sweetheart, but, yeah, I don't really.
He had a good heart.
Yeah, he did.
But he did. He
Yeah.
did. So can you pinpoint a specific moment where you knew like you had to walk away? Was it the story that we're gonna get into that you were like, yeah, I'm done?
Honestly, I don't think there was a moment where I was like, I guess there was never actually a moment where I was like, I'm done. Like, I feel like the way that everything ended was kind of like, I just had to accept it more than like, I was just like done with it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't even think I was the one who, I almost feel like he was the one who walked away in a way, but I always knew it was coming, and I knew that there was always two girls in the picture, me and this other girl, and I knew that if a third person ever entered the picture, like, he was just gonna move on to that girl, and he might, like, try to go back and forth with me, but, like, I knew that she would be, like, the main priority. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like you would switch.
Right. As long as, yeah, if it just stayed, like, me and this other girl, like, he would just bounce back and forth and back and forth. But I would still be, like, the center. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah. You would be the actual relationship, and he would be the one that, like,
right. Even though
he would
they
go back
had, I feel like we need to talk about that. Like, he was dating her for, like, 2 years before he started dating me. And he, like, broke up with her, but he told me, like, the relationship was ending. So I just thought that, like, oh, like, they're just done. I don't think he, like, broke up with her for me, but, like, I don't know. I just think, like, he was, like, ready. Like, that's what he does. He, like, talks to someone, dates them, whatever, like, literally abuses them mentally for so long. And then he's like, oh, time for the next person, because I'm kind of, like, tired of that. And I think that, like, I was just, like, that next person. He also probably hasn't been single in, like, 7 years. Like, actually single.
So a man just, like, can't be alone.
Yeah. So,
Yuck.
I don't know.
Yuck. And people like that really need to, like, work on themselves. Like, you need
you
to be
think?
alone.
You think?
But I want to know both of your perspectives. Do you think if a guy, this is, like, out of the relationship conversation, I guess it kind of ties in, but, like, if a guy tells you he's done with his girlfriend and you guys hook up, can you still be a girl's girl?
What?
Like, okay, so in her example, he was with someone but telling her that they had broken up,
Right.
and they probably hooked up. Do you think, like, she's still a girl's girl? I do, because you were fucking blindsided by
Yeah.
this man who, you know, what do you think? Careful, just
Yeah,
ripping
sorry,
the
just
wire.
ripping it around. But I feel like you're kind of in, like, your own mindset, and, like, you don't really know the other situation. Like, you know about it, but you don't really know. So I'm just going to be like, oh, I'm, like, this is my opportunity because I like this person.
Yeah.
But, like, that person is telling you that they're done with that person. So how could you be, like, not a good
Right.
person, I guess? I don't know.
Right, I understand. I also think, like, if he had started out with, like, I have a girlfriend, but I like you, you would have been like, what the fuck? Like, leave your girlfriend.
Yeah, probably.
There's nothing worse than a girl who knows you have a girlfriend and, like, will still willingly do it.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
like if you're lying to the girl, being like, no, me and her are breaking up, that's your fault. But if the girl is completely like, no, he's in a happy relationship, I'm still gonna like go put it down, you're a dirty dog.
Yeah, basically.
It's disgusting.
Okay, that just was my question. Just a little, side question on top of that. This is a good one. How are your friends and family? Like, did they bash you or were they supportive?
For friends, I did have supportive friends, but some of them didn't understand it. I mean, you definitely understood it. I feel like I came to you with a lot of stuff that other people couldn't grasp, I guess.
Yeah.
I do understand why my friends were so mad, and I've since apologized and whatever, but at the same time, you don't know, this is not an excuse, but you don't know how it is until you're in it, and I feel like people who've never been through it don't understand.
Yeah.
And I'm just my family, my dad hated him, my mom thought he was misunderstood and tried to like him, but now that it's over, she's just I don't know.
Yeah.
My sisters are just indifferent about the whole thing.
Well, okay, can we please talk about this? Because I know this was a big thing for you. He was so cute with your little sister.
Yeah, well, now he's doing that with his new girlfriend's little sister. Or I'm assuming, I actually don't even know. But that's just he just plays, it's just a game he plays. There's just things that I could literally write down on a piece of paper of what he did in the first relationship that he'll do in the next relationship, that he'll do in the next relationship to win the person over.
It's his toxic pattern.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally it's and it's actually insane to see it play out, and then
Multiple
going
times.
back and looking at his history, and it's wow.
Do you think there's ever a time where you were I'm the problem? Because I feel every girl who tries to fix the toxic man blames themselves.
Right. Well, I would definitely think that sometimes, but never actually believe it. I guess I always knew that he was the issue. I don't know.
Yeah.
He would always say that I like to play victim, but I'm I really am the victim. Then at the same time, if I was the victim, why didn't leave? Why didn't I leave? But it's just a cycle.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever I mean, there was probably some things that I've fucked up on. I knew I could have done something better, but in the end, there was always a reason for it. I have this one time we get back together and he sees someone on my phone, and I literally never cheated on this man, never talked to anybody else. I was too scared to. And he's on my Snapchat. He's this kid's your number one best friend. And I was oh. And we had just got back together. He was visiting me at college. I didn't want to make him mad. And I was it's my cousin. And I sound so bad telling this story. And he was okay, he believed me. He's please don't fuck me over everybody else does. I was okay, whatever. And
Boy,
then
what
my
the hell,
mom, on the way to my basketball game a couple weeks later, my mom accidentally exposed me and said my cousin's names. And he was that wasn't your cousin. And then he looked up on my Instagram and he saw the kid went to my school, whatever. And he was basically, I felt bad for that, but the reason that I lied, I did not like this kid. This kid was in my Spanish class, and the reason he was my number one best friend is because we, did Spanish homework or something.
Yeah.
And the only reason I lied is because I was so afraid to, lose him again or make him mad or whatever, and that was, probably the only lie I've ever told in that relationship.
Yeah.
So I would
I know,
say,
I feel
that,
that's hard. That's hard.
I would say that's the only time I was oh, damn, I fucked up on that, but...
But you never were the way that he is because of me.
Yeah,
You knew
no,
from the
I
get
just-
it was him. Yeah. So I don't really have many
I have a question.
Oh, good.
Were there ever a situation where you were mad at him and he flipped it?
I think every single time.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm trying to think of a good one. Yeah, probably just literally every time we argued, or he would just go out with his friends a lot, and not that I'd be upset about it, but it would just be at the most inconvenient times. My grad party, he left my grad party to go out with his friends,
But you couldn't go
or maybe
out.
he didn't even come to my grad party. Maybe it was my, I don't know. We were doing
Was it
something
a
for my
family
family.
dinner?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, no, it was my birthday party. It was literally, oh my god, literally my birthday. He left early to go hang out with his friends, and I was upset, and he basically, flipped the whole thing on me, and he was you never let me hang out with my friends, which wasn't true. He went out every weekend. And this was kind of hard because he was older than me. I think he was, 21, and I was still 19 or something. So I get that he just wanted to go out, but like I let him go out all the time. And on my birthday, like on my
Yeah. It's
And-
you have
Yeah,
one
no,
day
you're,
a year.
you're cooked.
I saw like a TikTok and it was like a man who just like hates you will always ruin your birthday or make you cry on your birthday, like even if you're like in a relationship with them. And I was like, yeah, like facts.
Yeah, I cried this year.
On your
Yeah, you
birthday?
did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
So like I said, I don't really have any questions unless Kira comes up with another one. But we have to tell the story, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, there's so many stories, but yes. Okay.
I mean, if there's any more you want to cover before we dive into your new relationship, but we definitely need the Beantown story.
This is actually hilarious. And
It's so
I
bad.
feel like this is just this story shows you that when something's not right for you, the universe will take it from you, kind of, or just like show you and expose the truth. So basically, I don't even know where to like literally start. We had gotten back together for like a month, and I was going on vacation with my family. So I left for vacation. He was supposed to be going to Spain with me later that summer.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So we put all the money down for it. Oh, by the way, when I got the opportunity to go to Spain, he didn't want me to go. And the only way that
It was for basketball.
Yeah, I remember.
with my mother, the only way I made it okay was like I was like, oh, you could actually come on the trip. And he was like, okay. And that was like the only way like I didn't Anyway. So where was it? Oh, I go on vacation. And I had
Were you at Family Beach House?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, literally with my family. And I had left, the day before I left, it was his birthday. And that was like, this is literally the last time I ever saw him, like, when we were still together, I guess. And we had been fighting, but it was just because I was away. Like, he was just like, I don't even fucking know. And
Probably was like, oh, you're at the beach, you're in a bikini,
no,
that's
like,
wrong.
literally. And the whole week was kind of weird. And I remember I finally texted him about paying like the last payment for Spain or something. And he was like, okay. And like I was like, here's this waiver and stuff. Like sign it when you get home. And he goes, oh, I'm going to a Red Sox game tonight, so I'll sign it when I get home, like tomorrow or something. I was like, okay.
Is he gonna be on the jumbotron with another girl?
Close, but
Very
no.
close. So basically,
I hope the mic heard that. Kira asked if he was going to be on the Jumbotron with another girl, and she was very close.
yeah, basically. So he goes to this Red Sox game, and I don't think I was texting him or anything. Like, I can't even remember. But my friend posted a picture on her close friends of the train station after the Red Sox game.
Which was packed. Like, literally no breathing room.
No
Packed.
breathing room. And she said, the caption was like, train station after Red Sox be packed. Something dumb. Like, literally on her close friend story. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm with my cousins, and I go, oh my God, he's right there. And then I said, oh my God, a girl is touching his shoulder. Like, who is this girl? So then I texted my friend, and I was like, do you have any more pictures from the train station? She sends me all the pictures, like, literally in the live. It's, like, this girl, and it's, like, the back of her head, and she's, like, touching him, and, like, obviously they're together. So I start blowing up his phone. I feel like that's, like, warranted. And he's like, I just got separated from my friends. Like, you're such a liar. Like, you always, like, ruin my night. Like, my friends just got on the earlier train. Like, you saw how packed it was. Like, these girls just came up, like, asking for my help. Like, blah, 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 like, all this shit. I was, like, calling him. So usually when I call him, he'll answer, like, always. This was the first time he just didn't answer. So I was like, literally, what the fuck? So I go to bed. I just let it be. I'm, like, obviously a mess. I was so upset. And I was being so mean to everyone around me because I was just, like, so upset. And I wake up the next day. And he finally calls me. Or I may have called him. And I was like, literally, like, who is that? Who is that? He's like, it's no one. Like, he's like, I got separated from my friends. He's like, you're so crazy. You're being crazy. Like, whatever. Let it go. An hour later, I'm tapping on just tapping through stories. And this girl that I know was wearing the exact same outfit on her story, from the picture that was in her story. So it was like, she posted a picture on her story, and the girl in the picture was wearing the same outfit. And I realized that it was her. And he knows her. And I know her. So I call him back, and I was like, I know who it is. And he's like, can you just ever leave it alone? And I was like, you're literally lying, like all this stuff. And he died on the hill that they just accidentally met there. I later found out that they planned the whole thing, and I think they were even talking before this. And he like came and picked her up at the house, and even went inside and met her dad that night. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong about that, but so like it was like a date. And I was coming home the next day, and so for the remainder of the day we didn't talk. And he's like, I want my money back for Spain or whatever, and I was like, okay, we'll see what we can do, but like you put the money in. And then we basically broke up there, I think. And now he's dating that girl.
Wow.
Do you think she knows that? Or do you think if
No,
she
she
tunes
doesn't.
in, she's going to be shell-shocked and they're probably going to break up over it?
No, they won't break up over it because he knows how to like lie and manipulate. And I don't know if she knows that story because I had talked to her and she was like, there was no like overlapping, so I'm sorry if you think that, but there literally was overlapping, so like whatever. If she does watch this, like literally no hate to you. Maybe even no hate to him, but like...
For the sake that Kayla is much happier now, hopefully they can just like work it out and he can break this dumb cycle.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, he stopped reaching out to me or the other ex, which is good, I feel.
Can we please talk about the fucking burner phones? Didn't he at least no caller ID'd you, but didn't he have to get like another phone number?
He pays for like the phone numbers on text now to like text me off of or text other people off of. Like one time I literally saw him texting his ex and I was like, oh, who is that? He's like, oh, someone for like this job I'm doing. Yeah, no, it was like literally his ex right next to me in the car and I was driving him because long story. Yeah.
Yikes.
So he would pay for like the text now apps to text me off of basically.
Random numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, sponsor him, shit.
No, like literally
Might
text
as well.
now, sponsor me,
Text
please.
now.
There's definitely things that like went on that literally will never be talked about anywhere on the internet.
Oh,
even
yeah.
on my own personal TikToks and stuff, but like he's like literally one of the, I don't even want to say like he's a bad person because I do think that there is good in him even after all this time, which is so like
Let's
unbelievable
just
that I'm
say,
saying that.
if you could air everything out, which I wouldn't even want you to, he would be canceled from this earth.
Yeah, probably.
Like, no one would ever like him.
Right.
Which is sad. Like, I am a nice person. Like, I swear by being nice. I swear by, like, you know, doing everything with grace. Cancel that man.
Yeah.
Cancel him.
I mean, there's just like so many stories that that are all coming back to me now that we're sitting down and talking about this. But I just know that if he like were to see this right now, his like only thing he'd be saying is, "Oh, she's such a loser," talking about me. "Oh, she's such a loser," still talking about me like 2 years later.
We're doing this for
our pure entertainment and for
the girls that are in the same situations
literally.
that need to show. Like, Kayla is a prime example of like you can get out of it and you can get better. Really, Kayla.
Who even knows?
Do you have any stories or questions that compare?
I feel like I have a story. So I think it was around Christmas time. And see, the thing is with me and like this person, we never like really ended things like while like during it. So like he was talking to his ex from college and it was Christmas vacation, I'm assuming, and she came back. So we were at Dad's house and I'm just scrolling, like I'm friends with or following his like cousin on Instagram. So I open up his story and what do I see? They're at the club and then she's dancing on him. So I'm call like a million times. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yep.
Answer your fucking phone. He doesn't answer. I message his cousin and I'm like, I know who the fuck that is. Like, what are they doing? He doesn't answer till the next day because, like we talked about in the last one, he would ghost me for like 48 hours. So he's like, no, there's nothing to worry about. Like, that's just my friend. Like, we're just friends. This, that, the other thing.
Was it like graphic dancing? Like
Yes.
twerk? Oh,
Yes.
my God.
Yes. Well, it wasn't like a crazy video, but like you could clearly tell that she was dancing.
I remember.
Picture.
I do have a video that she sent me from that night.
Wait, I want to see this. We don't have to share it
I think
podcast-wise, but I have to. I never... Did I see this?
I don't think so.
one at the Grand.
Yep.
No, wait, kissing?
Oh,
On New Year's Eve?
No.
Oh no,
I
on
don't know. Where
wait,
the fuck
is he
Oh
eating
my
her
God.
nose?
Could be.
Anything that he's doing is just disgusting and too close.
That is
Oh my God.
nasty. That is nasty. And texts?
So
Yeah.
did she apologize to you or like admit like, or was she being like?
She kind of just sent me this long message.
She sent me this long message saying that he admitted that he was sleeping with me. It wasn't even that we were like a real thing.
Right.
She was with him for almost 4 years.
Still, while you guys were together?
They were on and off for 4 years.
Oh my God, she
And
put
then she was
dates and
telling me,
everything.
yeah, she put dates. She told me the last time she saw him and that she knew she'd been catching him lying, blah, blah, blah. And she said that it also, like, she was the girl that I was. So there was another girl, like your situation kind of, that they did the same exact
thing. And then, yeah.
Men are offense repeaters. Prison.
Literally.
Can we just have like a statewide like jail for just like
Like
fucking
that.
cheaters and nasty
Yeah,
people?
please. But
Ew, 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 ew.
they'll get their
Ew,
jail.
that was crazy.
They'll get their jail on their own someday.
That's funny. That's funny.
I took her vape. Cut that too. Sorry.
Stole her vape. Wait, we should just leave that part in
No,
with
yeah.
no other
No,
explanation.
please.
Okay, so I don't think. I mean, we'll definitely talk about Bobby Joy, but I don't
Yes.
think there's a ton like that needs to be covered. You're super happy.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
But yeah,
Go ahead.
so I transfer, and obviously we break up, and so then I go a little crazy because like who wouldn't?
As
This is like
you
my first
should.
like freedom and so on.
You're still
reminiscing,
looking.
yeah.
Wow, Kira is not even a part of this conversation. She's just reading.
And so I start liking this kid who's younger than me.
Yes.
And that was just like me, like, you know when you just want to crush and like you want to be a little delusional, so you just like find the first person, like whatever.
That allows it to be them.
Kind
yeah.
of. So I don't even know. That was just like, but he has a roommate.
Yes.
And said roommate one night tries to put me on with his friend from home. So he's like, let us pick you up, whatever. So I let them pick me up. And he's trying to put me on with his friend, like his best friend. And I feel like this is confusing. Like I need to like say like names. Not names, but there's N.
You can make fake names,
Okay.
but you have to tell me who's who. Like,
So I start crushing on Jay. And then Jay's Bobby's roommate, my boyfriend now.
yes.
Okay. So then Bobby tries to put me with his friend Mark. Let's
Yes.
just call him. And so they pick me up and we just hang out. And it was like fun, whatever. Like nothing ever like came of it. But then I think we hung out the next night. And at the time, one of my friends was like talking to Bobby, I guess. So we all went back over there the next night to their apartment and hung out with all of them, with my roommate now. And nothing happens again, but like whatever. And then for some reason he got my Snapchat and he was Snapchatting me about like homework.
Yeah.
And then like it took like so long, and then
Typical Bobby.
probably like a month later, he like tells me that he likes me. Maybe it was like a little farther than a month later. And I was just like, at the time my friend didn't like him still, but like I knew like that past, so I was like, I'm not gonna do that. And also he was just not my type. Like he's so far from my type. I was like, the hell. And then he liked all my Instagram pictures. And I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, so typical Bobby.
So then my friend
Third grade activity.
Yeah.
No, literally. My friend saw that and she's like, is there something going on with you and Bobby? And I was like,
Yes.
So we had a whole conversation and I was like, he likes me, but like I told him no because of like you, out of respect for you, like whatever. And she was like, if you ever like if feelings ever do change, just tell me, like it's fine. And I was like, okay, but that's never gonna happen. Like literally, I thought that was never gonna happen. And probably like a week and a half later, I was like, oh, like wait, like he's actually so sweet. So then I went back and I told her and I was like, I think I do like him. And then the rest is just kind of history from there.
Yeah. And he is just such a sweet boy.
Yeah, he is.
Like, he could hang out with the girls and just be there.
He asked me out at a Red Sox game, and I still didn't know if I was going to say yes. Like, I still was like, I knew he was going to ask me out, but I was like, I, like, don't know.
I remember you were like, I think he's going to ask me, I can't go. And I was like, you better get your ass there.
And then he did. And actually, it was on, like, May 13th. So, like,
yeah, I mean, I guess the only real questions we need to know, now that we knew that the start of it was kind of Jay and Mark and Bobby and whatever.
Yep.
What was it like to, like, because I know you kind of were like, I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like quickly after we started dating, it just became easy, and I knew it was, like, okay. And, like, there was just, like, there's so many, like, little things that, like, I can't even, like, think about right now, but, like, that were just different from the relationship before.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like that's how you know that it was, like healthy. Like, I don't even know. Like, I wasn't nervous when I wasn't around him.
Yeah.
I wasn't nervous to say, I wasn't walking on eggshells, basically, is, like, all I can say. I guess I was a little nervous that I never thought that I was the issue, but I was afraid that I was going to take, like, bad habits from the last relationship, bring them into the next.
Yeah.
But, like, seeing how, like, healthy our relationship is, like, makes me realize that, like, I really never was the problem.
Yeah.
And,
well, even in your relationship, too, like, whenever there were, like, we don't need to talk about the situations themselves, but even, like, the smallest little situations that would have blown up into huge problems with your last relationship, like, you guys just resolve.
yeah.
Poor Kira. You didn't talk much.
It's okay.
You got some good stuff in,
Yeah.
though.
I spilled some tea.
You
spilled
did.
some.
And it wasn't just, like, a little sizzle. That shit was burning hot. That shit was burning hot. And so did Kayla. So,
Yeah. If you see this, no hate. I'm not a loser. You are.
facts. And that's where we'll leave it. Thanks so much for tuning in to Clink Podcast.